Hi, welcome to the cast of Preacher. Thanks for coming into the LA Times Comic-Con studio.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Greetings.
Yeah.
So, you all are entering the final season. The first thing that I have to ask is, what is the most disgusting thing that you have ever been asked to do on Preacher?
I think I can't tell that because it's a season 4 spoiler. Ruth,
Can you give us a hint?
are we talking about the same day? I think there was a really disgusting day
Disgusting
in
in terms
season
of
4.
Any way you want to
Grotesque.
define it.
crawling through something grotesque, doing something grotesque,
Yes.
or experiencing something revolting, that kind of thing.
Any of those. Or all of the
Well,
above.
we had quite a, but I don't know whether we can say that.
I
You
don't think-
suck-
I
you
don't-
suck on part of me.
I
That
do.
sounds disgusting.
I do.
But we shouldn't say it, should we?
Right, because
I don't
blow is just a
know.
figure of speech.
This is what's
There's a
funny.
lot more vomit this season.
Yes.
A lot more vomit.
Yes. That's what.
A lot.
Yeah, there's
Here's the
vomit.
thing about season 4. It kind of turned up everything. So, like, every time we get asked a question, like, what was your favorite moment in all 4 seasons of Preacher? I can't answer that. What was the most exciting thing you've done? I can't answer that. What's the most disgusting? I think we just kind of topped everything we've done so far. Is that possible?
Yes, they took everything to the extreme. I think when
Yes.
they realised that it was going to be our last, it gave them, certainly the creative team and the writers' room, the green light to go beyond all expectations. And I think both AMC and Sony had always said, keep going, keep pushing it. Total respect to them in terms of what the comics were originally. But this particular season is, every single character is on such a specific journey, and each of those journeys is full of the absurd and the grotesque. But
And
more
the-
puke.
the-
There was a lot of puke in 3 because
A lot
Also-
of puke. There's a lot of puke.
Allfather was vomiting the whole time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And the blood. Here's
All
the thing.
he did.
Every person on Preacher knows that you can't just take a bloody shirt off of you because it sticks to your skin. I mean, you have to get wet. You have to like get in some kind of. You have to wet down again.
So you
I mean,
all
that's pretty
learned sort
gross.
of like new tricks of the trade because Preacher is so disgusting.
Yes.
Well, disgusting sort of ceased to have a definition
Yeah.
in our world. Even the word horrendous seemed to we went past all of that.
I can't ever eat or smell minestrone soup ever again
Same.
in my life.
I'll never
Don't
eat
ask.
calamari,
Don't ask
I'll
why
tell
we
you
can't
that
tell
It was
you.
gonna
But
be
yes,
like-
that's absolutely true. Yeah.
But they
Okay.
said it was going to be mushed up fruit salad, or am I making that up? It
No.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Mushed up
It
fruit
was.
salad.
Yeah. That
I will
was.
keep an eye out for the
That will never.
minestrone
Yeah.
in
Actually,
season
Ruth,
4.
when you just said that, I smelled it. Like it took me right back to that day
Serious
immediately.
sense memory stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, a more of sort of pleasant look back. What is one thing that you will miss most about your character, or playing your character?
I think it's been the privilege about this job. I speak for myself, but I think for all of us, and the reason we've enjoyed it so much, and what it's been so wonderful for us as actors, is that you are, in the space of a day, and because of the nature of TV and because we shoot so much, we're going from, and I really feel this to be true, you can go from absolute out-and-out comedy to being in a very embedded, emotionally driven scene to a extraordinarily well put together fight sequence. And I think there are very few things out there, certainly that I've ever read or that I've ever done, where you are using all those, I could call them skills, but those, the things that we love to do, and we're getting to do them all in one show. And I think we will realise more and more as time goes on how much we miss the opportunity we've had to do that.
Yeah, I've said more than once, Featherstone pushes me to my limits, kind of in all directions. So everything now that I'm reading seems boring. I don't know how anything seems interesting after Preacher.
I'd say that for me, the opportunity to interact with these two guys, and with a handful of, I guess,
We never
our
have.
paths never, our storylines
No, we
never
never
crossed. But acting with these two individuals and a valuable group of others that aren't here today brought my game up, and I think we created something mighty.
Nobody on our show wants to let anybody down in the scene work. Everybody comes to level up every day. That's a pleasure of a set to be on.
Yeah.
Ruth, anything you'll miss?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of fun. We laugh a lot. Like, we laugh an awful lot. And, like, it's just nice wanting to go to work every day, enjoying it. And I think the kind of, the absence, I think, will be most felt around January next year, you know, when we usually start. And I think there'd be kind of like something kind of quite crucial missing. I think that might be very strange. I'm anticipating something happening then.
Sure.
Also, we're a very international cast, so we're all flung all over the world. So I feel absence already of people I'm used to having in my life every day.
The last time I interviewed these guys was in New Orleans. I'm wondering, production was mostly in Australia for season 4.
All of us, yeah.
I'm wondering about, you know, what that sort of change does to the feeling of a show when you like change places so dramatically, different from each other.
Huge part of the character, the landscape of the show. I think that as well as in the comic books, I would distinctively remember the kind of atmosphere that brought to the comic, and the comics are very visual anyway, and I think it was imperative that they found places that reflect
dusty, very dusty.
But, the beautiful landscapes of Albuquerque and the light there, and Australia, there's nowhere like it in terms of light at dusk. Stunning. And the deserts, and then we needed city and desert landscape, and not only that, but the people there and the crews. We were working with these crews that we got to know very well in New Orleans, and who were wonderful, and learnt and became part of the show with us. Yeah. And so that the upheaval of that and of meeting and people not understanding quite what it took to make an episode of this show, but wonderful for them to experience it, and because they're big fans of it there as well. I think it was it changed a lot. The landscape is a big part of the show.
I think the cast got tighter in Australia. I mean, that move away from our crew that we loved so well in New Orleans into a new world and on the other side of the world, I think it kind of drew us together, in a big way,
Before I let you go, I gotta ask, it's my first Comic-Con. You all have been before. I'm wondering, what is the craziest thing that you've seen at Comic-Con? Or if you have any tips for me?
You should go on the floor and see the cosplayers. I mean, I think that's the elaborate nature of those costumes and how detailed and how far that goes is impressive that someone makes that for themselves, but I think that's something you should definitely experience before you leave.
I think the best thing is seeing superheroes vomiting at 2 a.m. on the high street.
Sure, there's that too, sure.
I saw someone on my run this morning.
So what they do?
I saw people running in costume this morning along the water, which I didn't
vomiting
expect.
and ill and crawling along the streets better.
If you stick
What's wrong
around
with
after
Superman?
the parties, yeah.
Great. Well, thank you all
Thank you.
for coming into the
Thank
LA
you.
Times studio.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest
Thanks
of
for
your
having
Comic-Con.
us.